All right, y'all. Looks like we got a 6L lady on the bench. This is out of a 2012 LTZ Tahoe. 6-speed, 6L lady. Mass produced General Motors transmission. You can find this unit in GMCs, Cadillacs, a wide range of Chevrolet pickups, cars, SUVs, and it's very widespread. So we're gonna get it cracked open and get some needle nose pliers to get this vent tube off. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna take this vent tube off. Won't be needing this. This is to allow the overpressurization of the fluid to escape in the event that there's a backup or stoppage or whatever. Let's take the torque converter out first. JB make the torque converter. Come and fill your point on these. I just want to see how it spins. It sounds kind of. Oh, it's not in the way. There it goes. I was about to say that doesn't sound good. So let's get the converter out. Get it drained. Not that it matters, but I just like to check for hot spots. There's probably some fluid in there. Let's get that out of there. Let it drain. There's no fluid in there. Okay. Well, that's a sign of something. Should be a little bit more fluid in there, but it's not. Whatever. Let's get this torque converter O-ring off. Since we just removed the torque converter. If this isn't removed, it's really common to forget it. If it isn't removed, the pump assembly won't come off. Go ahead and rip it. It's gonna get replaced. It's black. It's originally green. It's supposed to be green, but it's black and burnt up. It's trash. Let's actually get the converter out of the way. It'll be all right down now. It's got a drain hole with a dip. Usually, while drain them, take some out of the fluid when we're taking them out. There's a hole here where the dipstick goes in the fill. Flip it over on the side, let it drain off the table like that. You can take a look at this sticker here. This is pretty much obviously the part number. 2 stands for cylinder 12. C, it's I believe the C stands for the designation of the vehicle. And the A's, I believe, this means 6-speed. Just kind of check for case crash. We're gonna get it flipped over. But so now that the converter's out, let's go ahead and roll it and get the fluid drained out of it. Let's get some of this other stuff out of the way. Don't have to be gentle with them. They're pretty stout units. Hear that fluid coming out. Oh, it is black. That is definitely a bad sign. Very, very black. It's like oil. Shouldn't be that color. Common misconception. These things will not stay up. These are little 6. It's a little 4-speed guy right here. This is actually the little brother of the 6LA. It's a 4L60. It's what General Motors they moved to after they opted out of the 4 speeds. But what I was gonna say is a common misconception. A lot of people change their engine oil, but they don't change their transmission oil. That in turn would damage a transmission prematurely, and ultimately it'll shorten the life. The higher the temperature gets, the faster the oil degrades. So, and it stinks too. It stinks really bad. I'm gonna get this oil pan off. I'm just trying to get some of this fluid out of the way. So let's get these bolts off this oil pan that go around the perimeter right here. So let's grab a, should be a 10 mm. Where's my 10? All right. Let's go all the way around the perimeter with them. Gotta throw this in reverse. There we go. It's like I don't know, 15 volts, 15. Once we get this pan off, we'll have an idea of how bad the unit is. The oil tells one color. Converter didn't have any oil in it, so that's one thing as well. But this pan typically will check for metal, any type of metallic debris. Signs of the oil color would indicate the clutches are burning, overheating. So we got a bunch of, oh man, it thing stinks, dude. So obviously that's not supposed to be that color. Definitely got some metal on the pan. Let me actually get some headlights, get some more light shine on this before. But got a little bit of light on it so y'all can see. You can see that this is metal. That's not supposed to be there. Oil color would indicate that it is the fluid's burnt, it's been overheated. Transmission oil is typically red. When it's new, it's red. Typically, I said typically, not always. Depending on the transmission, there will be different color designations. So if you have like an import vehicle or a foreign vehicle, German vehicle, something that the color may vary. There's several different colors, so it's not all red, but it's typically red. So just kind of, don't want to spread any misinformation. Get the fluid off. I'm sorry, the fluid filter off. You'll hear me say transmission fluid, transmission oil. It's oil, okay? Typically in the automotive world, people will say fluid, transmission fluid versus engine oil to differentiate. It's oil. It's oil. Transmission oil is not, it's not more lubricant, has low viscosity, higher boiling point, but it's oil. Some transmission require an extremely viscous transmission oil, so that's doesn't really matter. I'm not a fluid dynamic professor, so see some of this oil to drain out of it because I'm gonna pull this valve body. You know what? I'm gonna get this tail housing off. I like to get them good and drained. I really hate for oil to get everywhere, so it could take a little bit of while. Get that cleaned up. We could take this valve body out now. I need to take off the connector that goes to this white tab here. Pull it straight up. There's a connector that goes. I'll flip it over. Kind of see it better right now. See the fluids coming out of the test. Still not done draining. This connector here goes to the Tecum. The Tecum is the transmission control module, pretty much. But there's a seal, a double gasket O-ring seal here that needs to be removed in order to get the Tecum out. So it is a fluid seal, but it's a double-sided seal. There's a seal on one end that kind of goes to the outside. You'll see here in a second. So one O-ring seals the outside, one O-ring seals the inside. So that's how they create that pass-through connection for the main body harness up to the engine controller, obviously. But you want to check these seals to make sure that none of them are ripped, because you can get leaking. These look pretty good. I know because when I took it out, it's still dirty on this side. There's dirt on this side, meaning it's dry, and there's obviously fluid on this side. So that'll be fine. This is going in the trash. It's no good. We don't reuse filters. No one should ever do that. But whatever. Go ahead and take this valve body out. Come on, baby. Take the valve body out. There's 6 bolts. Gotta keep my hands. My gloves need to be dry because I'll get really slippery. Slippery transmission fluid is very viscous and obviously lubrous. So I don't want to keep it all on my hands. It's got 1 here, 2. Where's number 3? They're special headed bolts. 1, 2. There's 1 in here. 3, 4, 5. There's 5, not 6. They're I use the E-Torx to take them off. I think they're Torx Plus is the actual designation of them. I use the E-Torx E12, I think it is, 10. Maybe E10 or 12. Let me just see. Let's try. Let's put this E12 on the 3H drive. I should get an extension. Actually, I don't want to get too close. Short one to work. It's a little 3-inch. Where did they go? Right here. Just make sure you're firmly seated because this is, like I said, this isn't the actual correct designation. It'll work. Don't get me wrong. These are not like extremely high torqued bolts, so they're not going to give too much resistance. There is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I gotta stop doubting. Would you look at that? I gotta stop doubting myself. I said it was 6. Counted 5. I was like, oh, it's only 5. I've done so many of these, and sometimes it's just, some things you just kind of lose track of, I guess you want to say. Whatever. Wow. I need to get my detent ring fixed on this. These guns take, I work with my tools, so they take a beating. I don't get it misunderstood. These boys is getting worked. I should have actually, look, I'm dropping stuff because my hands are slippery. That was the whole point I was making about the oil extent on my gloves, because it's annoying. We gotta wear underneath the gloves to protect, your skin from the oil, but at the same time, you gotta protect your gloves from the slipperiness of the oil too. Come on out. Kind of wiggle it out. It'll come out. I don't like to pull up straight. There's 2. I'll show you the pins that it's hanging on. Just put that over here for right now. We're gonna break that down separately from the actual teardown of the actual transmission. So what I wanted to show, there's a guide pin. There are guide pins on the valve body itself, and those 2 guide pins are right here. So essentially the valve body kind of hangs on, but those pins, they rest in there. They've been resting so long, so it'll kind of give you a little bit of resistance as it's coming out, but eventually it'll come out, obviously. This is not necessary what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to see if I can free spin this drum to make sure that stuff is moving like it's supposed to. Not that it's gonna make any difference. We're gonna take all of it out anyways. But next, let's go ahead and get the tail housing off. I like to try to drain all this fluid, so you'll notice I'll continue to roll it. I'll roll them so many times because there's like so much. There's 12 quarts of fluid can fit in this transmission when it's full. A good amount of that is in the pan itself, but the clutch drums, and they can hold a good amount of fluid as well. The valve body can retain fluid, so there's a lot of it, and it gets everywhere. It gets messy. Obviously, you can see this teardown table. It's just full of oil, black, and it's black oil, and it stinks. It's a pretty messy job. Very, very messy. Just gonna get this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna swing the tail around and get the tail shaft off of it. Little brother over there. Rock little brother over there. These just will not stop. They will not stop moving. These are some burn up clutches from a 460. Let's get it hung off enough. I'm just gonna get the tail housing pulled. No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna hang it off just enough to kind of get the tail housing off and allow the body, the actual main case, to stay on the table. But now that I think about it, it's not completely drained, so it could leak on the floor, and I don't want that to happen. So these are 15 millimeters. There's 6 of them. You're gonna need a good amount of torque to get these off. Would you look at that? R&R guy slipping. That's actually not supposed to be there. Not that it matters, but I don't need a transmission mount. So the R&R guy should have took that off. But, you know, whatever. Whatever, mine. Come on, dude. All right. That's 4. Was that 4? One? That was 3. 5. 4, 5. There's one more. Where are you? These on the bottom side. See if I can feel it. I'm being a little aggressive with it. You don't have to be gentle with these transmissions. I mean, they're pretty stout. They're aluminum case, yeah, but just rolling around like I'm doing is not gonna hurt it. Where's my, what's over here? Oh, there we go. Come straight off. Sometimes there'll be like some gunk and build up kind of just over the years. It's a 2012, so almost got me a little bit. But this is that food I was telling you about. It'll run out on you. There'll be some gunk and build up to kind of cause it to kind of stay stuck on there. So just kind of watch out for that. And just don't think everything is stuck or requires like a beating from a hammer. Check this out. I know this gasket needs to be changed. Oh, drop the bolt. So that's that. Let's get the bell off. I do not need this and don't like that. It's right here. Get it flipped around. So now we're going to get the bell housing taken off. The bell housing pump assembly. We've already taken off the torque converter. The torque converter. I just cannot stop messing with these, huh? We've already taken off the torque converter O-ring, the lockup O-ring, which goes right here. So it's not gonna give us any resistance when we try to take it off. Keep your workspace clean. I'm actually gonna put some. These are the valve body bolts. They're going in a pan, so we know where those are. 15 millimeters all the way around. Just take a roll around the perimeter. Get you a longer extension to get in there. I don't think there's Loctite on these. She's falling. We're gonna transit. This is the teardown table. Teardown and drain. The actual inspection aspect is done on the table to my right. So we're gonna transition over there once we get the case standing upright. We're gonna take as much out as we can right now before we do that. So what we're gonna do now is ever so subtly, we're just gonna try to. What I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try to get the actual. You see the fault line here, where the case separates. I just want to get the actual main case onto the table, and you see here the bail. Get it off of the table so that way I could just kind of freely take them out of here. See if they'll come apart. I don't want both of them. I don't want everybody. Stay in there. There we go. So let's put the bell over here. Bell housing pump assembly. It's the bell housing. It's the pump cover is what they call it. This is the actual pump here. Gotta keep washing my hands. This is the actual transmission oil pump here. So this is pretty much pumps the fluid throughout the entire unit. This will separate from the case cover, the oil cover. Pump cover is what it's called. O-ring that goes around the bell housing. So we're gonna start taking out the sub assemblies of the transmission. I gotta definitely make sure I don't have any oil on my hands because these things get really slippery. So let's go ahead and take out the. This is gonna be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5 reverse. Kind of get them in. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5 reverse. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 up top, 3, 5 in reverse. On the bottom, there's a piston in there. Let's keep him right there. Next up, we got. Oh, we got some burnt. This is our sun gear. We got 3, 5. I'm sorry, not 3, 5. This is 4, 5, 6. Got to plant it on the other end of it. Just keep these right there. This is the 4, 5, 6. There's a bearing here. I can smell it. You can probably see it too. I mean, it's black. Let me look at it. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? You can see how black it is on this end of it. They should be this color, so to speak, sorta. But so this clutch pack is fried. So the guy more than likely have any movement. Let's put these together. I'm not done. I'm gonna take everything out. Got a couple more hubs here to take out. There's 3 of them. These come down like this. One comes out like that. These are not burnt. This is your dampener. Get a little wipe down, getting slippery. Another hub coming out. I try not to be too violent when I'm taking the sub assemblies out because I don't want to. I mean, you're not gonna hurt anything, but I try not to. See if we can get this center support out. When I'm taking the center support out, sometimes I'll take out the case gasket, the main case gasket. Main case to the valve body. That's what these are. It's a case gasket. This pretty much provides a seal. Valve body's on this side. It sits on it like that. Oil is obviously getting fed into the transmission. It feeds the center support. But I mean, you don't have to. But just out of habit, I'll just take it out before I take the center support out. That way, it's not getting hung up or not, binding. It shouldn't, but just kind of general practice. But let's take that out of there if it'll let us take it out. I never have you know what am I doing? It needs to come out, but let's get it drained some. It needs to come out. That sub assembly is gonna come out next. But before we do that, I forgot about the snap ring of death that's in there. There's an extremely hard snap ring that's inside of this case. Can't really see it, but I'll show it to you. I want to get it drained some more though. Oh, she's heavy. Just so you can have a better look at it. But there's a very large snap ring that requires its own pliers. Take a look at these. So these are snap ring pliers right here. Typical standard run-of-the-mill stuff, you know. These are Langs, made in the United States. High quality stuff right here. But these are made specifically, these are Langs. These are made specifically for the snap ring that I'm about to show you. This goes to 456. So we'll just put it over there. The snap ring that I'm about to show you, it is a beast to get out. And it sits right here. You can see it. It's holding up the center support, the lower planets, everything from the case. Just the case is upside down. Everything from this half back is being supported by the snap ring, in a sense. So it's a beast. It's going to be definitely it's not going to be hard for me to get it out. I've done it several times. Without the proper tools, if you don't have that set of case pliers, snap ring pliers, you're not gonna have a good time trying to get it out. I mean, I've seen some guys take 20-30 minutes just to get it out with a couple flatheads, you know, and it's extremely dangerous. The snap ring is very large. It's under an immense amount of pressure. It sits at the 9 o'clock. It's supposed to be laid in at the 9 o'clock position according to the ATSG service manual, so it's in the right place. It hasn't been rotated. Watch the camera. So right now I got it. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm really firm on it. Compress it. Walk it out of there. Decompress it. Now I got a good handle on it. Just kind of let it hit the floor. Pick that up real quick. That's it though. I mean, this is a snap ring. See if I got one sitting around. Don't have one. All right, let's put him over there. We're gonna take the center support out. Should come out. There we go. He's coming out. There's a bearing in there. Come on, baby. Center support. It's a two-sided unit. Low reverse sprag on this side. All right. Here's that bearing that you heard fall that goes into the planet. I'll just put it there. That's not its proper place, but I'll try to keep everything close to where it belongs. So next thing we got, lower planet. Come on, baby. Pull this out. Come on, it should come out. It's pretty heavy, so just be careful with it. They come apart. It's not coming apart now because I don't have a good angle on it. So they separate, but let's just go ahead and grab it, the whole thing. Now I'll flip it over. And that's it. Last of the oil. Case is pretty much empty at this point. Empty case. We'll set it up straight. Let it drain some more. Let it drain down in this bucket some more. We'll assemble it here. Everything is out. The sub-assemblies are out, valve body's out, case is empty. The pump is off. We're going to separate the pump, inspect it. Same with the valve body. These are not going to be the same thing. It's going to take an immense amount of time. So kind of going to break them out into like a 3-part disassembly. We're going to take apart all the clutches, check those out, see what's going on with those, just get an idea of what's going on with this unit, and start the rebuild process. So see y'all in the next one.